sound just like Jaquan Brisker. Like literally, we had a meeting about this. Like I don't know if it was just a few days ago. We had a team meeting, and it was just players led. And literally, he kept saying that same statement you just made. Why not us? Why not us? Why not us? Why can't it be us? He literally kept saying that same statement over and over and over again. Like he was pressing that statement.
Good blocking on the perimeter, and that opens it up for Tyler Scott.
Welcome to the Sick Podcast, the Tyler Scott Show. I am your host, Adam Rake, and each week we'll be sitting down with Bears rookie wide receiver Tyler Scott to talk about the upcoming game. We'll take a quick look back at the Bears' most recent victory, but I am so excited. So I'll tell you what, without further ado, let's bring on the man of the hour, Tyler Scott. Tyler, how you living?
Living good. It's Packers week, so I'm living good.
Well, listen, Tyler, I didn't want to start off aggressive. I know that we have a lot of ground to cover. We haven't seen you in a while, but since you brought it up, listen, I gotta just tell you, I gotta be perfectly honest with you. I am not emotionally stable enough to handle anything less than a Bears victory this week. We're too fragile as a fan base. We deserve this. I know the Cubs are playing well, but listen, we need this. It's Aaron Rodgers is gone. How are you feeling coming into Packers week?
Yeah, no, I mean it's my first rodeo with it. Being a part of Chicago, so we did a little history lesson yesterday. They kind of with some of the rookies, they kind of showed us, kind of what the history was, kind of how it all started. Taking it, way back when, and so just kind of showed the importance of, kind of this week in this game, and what it means for the Bears culture, and just kind of both franchises. So I'm excited, to finally be a part of it. I'm kind of talking to different guys on the team, and they talk about just how the excitement and the energy, and just the the hype of the game and things of that nature, and it's just basically like another rivalry week, but like you're in college. So so I'm excited for sure.
I'm really impressed that the Bears take the extra step to go through and educate all the players on it, because I mean it's one thing because the fans truly love this game, and it hasn't been great for the last couple of years, but we truly love it, and it's something that we look forward to every year. And it's one of the things that always impressed me about you immediately is that the first time that you came onto the show, you were wearing Bears gear. You weren't promoting anything. You weren't wearing, just something. You were wearing Bears stuff. So when you were sitting there and you were watching this video and you're watching the highlights of the history of the Bears and Packers, and believe it or not, there was a time when it was good for us. But what was it like? Were you getting goosebumps? Were you fired up? Were you ready to go yesterday to go play this game?
I mean, definitely. I mean, first thing, I love history. That's the first thing.
That's one thing that I love that about you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just love the history of the game. Just kind of seeing kind of where everything started, even to outside of, football, and just kind of, the manufacturers and the companies that, had a hand in helping, the teams, kind of come up with their names, whether, they started with one name. The Packers were like the Acme Packers at one point.
That's it.
And just kind of the different names and things of that nature, and just kind of how the companies evolved and things of that nature. So I just, just thought that was just cool in itself, just kind of see, just kind of see that evolve, and then just the actual play, and just knowing, the stars and the Hall of Famers that each franchise possesses, and it's like, wow, you're part of that now. You're going to be part of that, and you're going to have a hand in, in history, and so. It's just an honor to be a part of something like that, and have my first rodeo with it. So like I said, I'm super excited. Kind of get sweaty palms. I'm trying to calm down. It's just it's only Tuesday, so got a lot of preparation to do. But no, definitely excited for the week.
Yeah, it is the greatest rivalry in the NFL. Even when it's been one-sided over the last couple of years, it is still something that garners a lot of interest. The networks like to put it on. People might be getting sick of it, but we never tire of it. And well, we tire of losing, but we never tire of it. So it's great to again be a part of it, of the Bears Packers. There is a good football team on the other side of there, though. That's the one thing. Like, as much as we talk about the history and how much fun this rivalry is, the Packers are a very good team. And now, obviously, during the offseason, Aaron Rodgers has left and he's gone to New York. And there's not anybody in Chicago who is going to miss him. But they still have a very good team. The Packers have 9 at least I think it's 9, 10, 11 first rounders on defense. I know it's Tuesday when we're recording this, so game prep and game plans will go into effect. What is the biggest key to beating this Packers team? Because even though that I know a lot of people will be like, well, Rodgers is gone. It's like, yeah, they still got a pretty good football team. What's it going to take to beat the Packers this coming week?
Yeah, I mean, I think it takes all 11 units and the team that's just going to be the most disciplined, because a lot of times in rivalry games, and just the history that I've had with them, there's a lot of emotions. And guys can get emotional and things of that nature, can do things out of emotion, but I think the team that can stay the most disciplined throughout, the game, can stick to the game plan, stick to their preparation on what got them there, and not lose sight of, what the ultimate goal is and not get caught up in the little chippy battles here and there. Those type of things are, kind of what sways different rivalries one way or the other, and that can have an effect. So I think the team that can continue to stay the most disciplined and, take their coaching and preparation that they've had throughout the week and execute it the best without allowing the emotions get in the way will ultimately come on top.
And obviously, this being your first go around, what have you learned from guys like Justin Fields who've been around? How do they talk about this game? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like it means a lot to Justin. Like similar to you, like I feel like Justin's all in, like he's bought in. He loves the rivalry. What has it been like talking to some of the veteran leadership?
Yeah, I mean, we started off early in the week. Coach Fuchs, he introduced it, and it's something that we kind of talk about through the whole off season, really. You just hear the notion of like, talk about Green Bay all the time. It's like you're going to see a lot of Green Bay clips. You're going to see a lot of Packers clips, throughout the week and throughout preparation, things of that nature, and preparing to beat Green Bay. That's kind of something that, it kind of reminds me, if I'm being honest, growing up in Ohio, I grew up an Ohio State fan, and, the biggest rivalry between Ohio State is obviously Michigan, team up north. And so, just with that whole thing, it definitely reminds me of that type of rivalry as far as, always always having that team, in the back of your mind, even if it's in the off season, and understanding, exactly, what it means to come out on top versus that team. And it's just always, what can we do each year to compete with that team and to beat them. And, I can just definitely tell from even the leadership above, they talk about, the leadership up top, with the owners, and just how important it is, for them to get that victory over Green Bay. And they're like, yeah, you get anything you want. If you can beat this team, this would be huge. So it's definitely something throughout the whole building that is on the top of everyone's list.
Yeah, the Hallis family saved the Packers. So I know from Virginia all the way down, they want to beat the Packers. And it's cool that it's the first game, because I know a lot of people will watch this, and a lot of the Packers hater, or all the Packers will be like, oh, look at the Bears. They're so like, it's our first game. Like, of course, we're focused on our first opponent. And let's be honest, they're the standard bearer. Even though they didn't win the division last season, didn't even make the playoffs, they've still been the standard of excellence in the NFC North over the last number of years, which is where we want to go to. And I think a big reason why people are optimistic for this season is not only players like yourself, Justin Fields taking that next step, but your newest teammate, or one of your new teammates, DJ Moore, comes over from the Carolina Panthers. Love that move. Loved him when he was a Carolina Panther. I love him even more. As a matter of fact, I'm on a text thread right now with my friend Brandon Wolf, who has been sending me trade offers all day to try to get DJ Moore off my fantasy team. And he's like, what do I got to do to get DJ Moore? And I said, join another league, because you're not getting him from me. What has it been like having DJ Moore in camp? And what have you been able to learn from him? Because he's pretty much an established veteran, one of the best in the game. What have you been able to take from him?
Yeah, I mean, DJ, throughout camp, throughout just the time being with him, he's made so many different plays. He's a true definition of a playmaker. He's made so many different plays where I've just sat there and you just look at each other like, are you serious? It's like, it pissed me off that he caught that, it was one of those type of deals. I've had many of those. I'm just sitting there like, he was not supposed to catch that. Like, that's not supposed to be caught. And he would just somehow, come away with it. And he just plays so in control of the game, and what's going on around him. I really took. I'll be honest. I really took, kind of what he said. I want to say it was before the first preseason game. Kind of in the building, we were doing a day. We call it skull sessions. And we were doing a skull session where we're talking about preparation, and all the vets, they kind of stood up and gave their spiel of, kind of what they do as far as preparation is concerned. And then we broke up into individual rooms, and I got to hear from each receiver it's been around, and they kind of gave what their preparation looks like. And I really took away from DJ's his preparation spiel. He really talked about really about the hard work really being done early in the middle of the week. And he really stressed the fact that you don't want to go into a game stressed out. You don't want to go into a game, thinking about this play, that play, this assignment, that assignment, those type of things. And that was something that resonated through the whole room of all the vets of, coming into each game. You want to be worry free, carefree, just in your flow. That's another word that they use is, being in your flow. And that's one thing DJ really, talked about and kind of harped on. And that was kind of his main thing. And I've taken that, to heart and I've tried to, really take that, as far as my preparation in my game now, as far as just my preparation going into each week, and just understanding, a lot of the hard work is just really done in the middle of the week and, going into game week. You really want to be stress free. And that's something that you see with him when he plays. He plays with that kind of calmness, stress free type of play. And you can tell he's really in his flow when he plays. He's just kind of on a different level than everyone. And I'm still trying to learn how to get to that level. And, I'm just doing everything that I can to, just to take tidbits from him and, continue to develop myself.
What is this week going to look like for you? Now, we're talking on Tuesday. You'll put in the game plan tomorrow on Wednesday. What are you doing? What is tonight like for you? What's tomorrow like? What is that one little thing where what are you trying to work on? What is your focus as we start practice this week?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is staying ahead of the game plan. You'll get kind of like a rundown of, kind of what we're looking at, base runs, base, passes, things of that nature, kind of early on in the week and things of that nature. And you'll get them before you kind of walk into the building. And so I think the biggest thing for me is coming in already ready and already knowing what's, on the install, what's, in the preparation. So really, once coach breaks down, okay, this is what we're looking at this week, this is what we're looking to do. It's more so confirmation than it's new, you know what I'm saying? So it should really just all be confirmation, from what coach is saying. And I feel like that just put you a step ahead mentally. So then once you step on the football field, you're not thinking about, oh, he just put this in the, today, or I just looked at something today and now it's new. And you're worried about a lot of different things. So I think just really staying ahead of the game plan and being on top of it. So once you line up against your opponent, you can just play. You don't have to worry about all the different things. So like I said, I think just, being ahead of the game plan and being prepared coming in to preparation week.
What's it been like playing with Justin Fields? Because I think a lot of Bears fans are anticipating a big leap forward for him this season. Last year, he broke out after that disastrous game against the Commanders. You're going to get a lot of that, Tyler. I apologize in advance. But we go up against New England and smoke them. And then, regardless of what happened the rest of the season, but Justin really was starting to break out. What have you seen so far from him in camp, and what can we expect from Justin in week 1 against this Packers team?
If I'm being honest, the biggest thing that has stood out to me has been his preparation. The things that the fan doesn't see. I just, constantly always in the building, always looking at film. Always watching film, always. Every time I see him outside of the football field, he's got an iPad in his hand and he's watching, some type of film. He's just working on how can I continue to get better, while I'm not on the gridiron. And so I think the biggest thing, for me that I've seen is that. And so I think when you see that, that just continues to give you confidence, as a player and as a teammate, to know that he's on top of, what he's on top of in his game plan, and he's going to know the game plan inside and out. And so, and you've seen it on the field. Like, there's been times where we'll put something new in and, some of the guys are still kind of, learning it, and he'll be like, hey, you got this, you got this, you got that. Boom, he'll draw it up for us. And so, he's just that much on top of what the game plan is inside out in the playbook. So I just think it's, like I said, his preparation and the things that, people necessarily don't see, his leadership. He's brought us up multiple times, whether it's to give a word of encouragement or to continue to hold us to a high standard, understanding, we had a great practice one day, or maybe we had a bad practice. He's just not content, with just each day to day. And so I think I just really love that about him, as far as just kind of how he's been carrying himself. And then You know, on the football field, we haven't got to see too much of him, you know, so far this year. So we'll see come week
Well, you
one,
guys
you
were
know, what we
selfishly
got.
taking the passes and running them all the way to the house and not giving them an
I
opportunity to
know, I know, I know, I know. I know. So I mean, you know, I guess that's good as far as the offense is, you know, concerned. Because I mean, there's just a lot of explosive, and that's what the game is today. Just a lot of explosive plays and you know things that our nature saw. You know, we'll get a true taste of you know what he's truly like this year and just how much he's grown from you know last year. But I think the number one thing is you'll have a prepared quarterback for sure coming into the game. You know, and that's something I can guarantee.
I love every part of that too. And it's funny to me because people are always trying to find ways to bring us down. And it's like, you know, Justin Fields can still run the ball 60 yards for a touchdown. Don't think that
For
that's not
sure.
part of his arsenal. But if DJ Moore, if guys like you and Khalil Herbert can take the ball 50 yards and score as well, I think we're going to be okay. I don't think it's going to be too much of a concern. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about the offense. So I'm excited to see Justin Fields this season. DJ Moore, I'm extremely excited to see what you're going to be able to bring to the team. But I think a lot of people might be overlooking how much the defense could be improved this year. And this is a team that you go up against in practice every day. And I feel like I've seen a lot of improvement. I've loved what I've seen out of Tyreek Stevenson and everybody that they brought in. Brisker, even though Brisker stole my glove in a celebrity softball game, I still love him. But that's a story for another day. But what have you seen out of the defense, and what can we expect from the defense this season?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just the competitive nature. I mean, just their kind of dog mentality. You know, just day in and day out. You know, you mentioned Tyreek, and you know he just kind of wears his emotions on his sleeve. He just kind of walks around with that type of mentality for sure. He's just got a bite to him. You know, you got Tremaine Edmonds you add in there, and then you got you know Eddie Jackson, you got Bojack, who I think is just definitely taking that whole DB room to another level. You know, that secondary I think is very promising for sure. You know, I think you know going against them every day. You know, like I said, I think the biggest thing is just our preparation, the preparation that you see throughout the team. You know, staying after practice, those type of things that just set the team and set those guys above the next team. And so, you know, I think you're just going to see a gritty, competitive team, and that's something Coach Flus talks about all the time: compete to be elite. And that's something that they continue to do day in and day out. It's very competitive in practice, you know, with one-on-ones and you know things of that nature. We're always chirping, you know, talking you know, talking trash to each other. And so, you know, I think that's just the culture of the team, just that competitive edge, you know, that chip type of feel on the shoulder, so to speak. And so, I think you're just going to get very competitive defense across the board.
That's what we want. That's a defense that gets after it. I mean, we remember, you know, we got spoiled during the Lovie Smith era, always going out there and guys like Peanut Tillman who perfected invented really in some respects the peanut punch. And it seems like Flus has all those sayings. Like it's almost
Yes.
Ted Lasso-esque in a way where he has all these different sayings. How does that play? I always enjoy it. But again, I know the haters will have their view of it. I enjoy it. What do you think of like as players when you're in the locker room and Eberflus comes up with one of those little witticisms? How do you take it? Do you roll your eyes or you're like, I find it endearing, but how do the players feel about it?
No, I mean, I think it's all in good nature. I mean, we understand the point he's trying to get across, and you know, the point he's trying to make, and a lot of those times, you know, sometimes those things rowdy people up. You know, they rowdy a team together,
Yeah.
and that's something that they can stand on. That's something where it's you know, where it's you know late in the game or we're down, whatever. You can think of and say those different things to each other to kind of remind each other, like, hey, you know, this is the ultimate goal, or hey, remember the remember the coaching points, you know, those type of you know different type of things. You know, I love him personally.
Yeah.
You know, he comes up like I mean, every time he has his you know little presentations, he has like some type of saying, or he has some type of you know illusion that he uses to talk about. You know, this week and over the past you know week leading up to you know a game like this, he talks about our temperature and setting our temperature and having it you know gauged right. You know, some people's temperature is going to be a lot higher than others, and you know things of that nature. You know, you don't want to overflow, and you know he just gives a great illusion of exactly what he's trying to get across as far as what a mindset should be, and you know how you should operate, and understanding that each person is also different. You know, in the same way. And so it's all about just kind of finding, you know, what kind of fits you. And I think he just does a great job, whether he uses, you know, an acronym or, you know, or something, some type of saying or illusion that gets the point across. So I'm a huge fan of him. So yeah.
I'm a huge fan. Yeah, I love Flus, and I love everything. I've spent just one afternoon with him, and I was sold, and I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
I also like. I've heard this. I don't know if you've heard this, but the coaches are going to be wearing Jordans this year. Did you hear this?
I haven't heard that.
Oh, I guess that's a thing. I mean, like, I'm not a big Jordan guy, so that kind of misses me. I'm more of
Yeah.
I'm more into Vans and Adidas and stuff like that.
I
But
know. I
Jordan,
know. Yeah, I know Poles and Coach Flus. They both are. They're both avid Jordan wearers. They're both. I think they were dunks. Yeah,
Dunks,
low
yeah,
dunks. I
or
think that
ones or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, they're heavy dunk wearers. So I think I mean they wear them literally like every day. Like every time I see Ryan Poles and Coach Flus with them on, I'm like, yeah, I mean that must be the thing. So
But when a
I
coach
don't know.
has swag like that, though, you gotta, or does it, or do kids like yourself don't care? Is it for the old men like me? We find that cool, or is it?
I mean, I think we definitely do. It's kind of like one of those things. It's like, okay, I see you. Okay, I see what you're trying to do there. I know.
No, I hear.
It's
No,
something
I
cool.
trust me. I hear what you're
Yeah,
saying. You're like, yeah,
yeah. It's just like,
yes,
okay,
sir. It's
okay,
very
I see.
cool. Back in your day, sir, I'm sure these were amazing.
For sure.
No. I get. Listen, you don't. I think it's cool. I think again, it's the swag factor. You want to intimidate these teams when you walk out there. So it is one of the things. I do want
Brings
to ask
another
you about.
swagger.
Yes, for sure. And I think that's the one thing that I guess like that's one of the things that we want for this team is we want to have that kind of edge. We want to be viewed as one of those teams. It's like, oh, there's an edge to the Bears.
Yeah.
We had it during the Lovie Smith era. We're very hopeful that Flus is going to bring that back. And I think players like yourself, I love the way that you embrace. And again, not to really go in, but I really like, I don't think you understand how much people appreciate how much you love history, and a lot of the players seem to really get into it because it means a lot to us. Because these are teams that our grandfathers or our grandparents, because my grandmother was a Bears fan too, and my mother. So like this is really something that's important to us. But one of the cool things too that I admire about you is that the NFLPA recently came out and they listed the most influential rookies in terms of like social media and just being out there. And you made the list. You're part of the top 40, and I want to make sure that I have this correct. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for bringing this up, Sammy. Want to make sure I read this. Tyler has the second highest number of video views on social of the class of 40, and you have the highest follower interaction rate at 46%. And it shows right there that you're dedicated to being there for your fans. Why is that? What drives you for that? I mean, it's easy. Like sometimes I understand, like you just want to turn it off and you don't want to deal with it. You've always been very gracious with us. Immediately, I think it was the night you were drafted, or very shortly after, I was wearing this jersey, which might or might not have your name on the back. I'm not going to spoil that, but we had a fun little interaction. Then you came on the show, and now we're here. But I've also seen you on other podcasts, and I've seen you doing a lot of social media, which is amazing. What inspires you to do that? Because a lot of guys, and not that there's anything wrong. Like if you want to go home and people want to shut it down, like no disrespect to you or anything like that, that's fine. But you really have taken a proactive approach. What drives that?
Yeah, I think first shout out to my marketing agent, Jeff Wiener, for sure.
Yes.
Just helped me out in so many different ways. You know, he's been a true somebody who's kind of helped me take it to the next level, for sure. But I think the core and the root of it is just the fact that I understood and realized when I was young, and I was in the position I was at, looking up to somebody who was in my position, what it meant for them to have some type of connection or interaction with them. And I understood what that meant for just my overall drive, and just kind of when I looked at, goals I wanted to set, just being able to have an interaction or some type of relationship. I look at LeBron James, for example, someone who is, pretty active on social media, and he just reaches his audience, at a different level, and all his content is his. And it just makes you feel like you're part of the journey with him. And, just with that, obviously being from the same city, it just gives you something to continue to drive, whether it's just inspirational posts or, different types of things. I just feel like I appreciated it, when I was younger growing up. And I just feel like it would do the same for people that look up to me. And so I just kind of, just realize, kind of the platform that I have, and especially to the people back home that look up to me. I just want them to be able to share this journey with me, especially the ones that had a hand in it, helping me get to this, get to this point, to this spot. They can't be here to see everything with me. So it's really just reaching out to them as well. Just, really allowing them to hop on this journey and be able to have an inside look as well on different things that are going on in my life that, that don't necessarily get to see that. And then also to the common fan that, who are, obviously newer fans of me, obviously being drafted to the Chicago Bears. And like I said, just understanding the impact that you have on different people and on their lives. So I think that's kind of where the root of it comes from. And just really just the impact that you can have on different people.
Yeah, it's such a refreshing outlook to take. And I appreciate you saying all that stuff because I think about it myself, like I remember when Twitter was first around in it must have been 2009, Adam Sandler liked one of my posts one time. And all he had to do is just on this computer, just hit like, and it made my day.
Yeah.
And to go out there. And I think that sometimes people kind of lose sight of that, which is where, and I'm obviously not on your level, but even if I can't respond to somebody, just like, hey, you'd like, that was funny or this, just want to let people know, thank you for reaching out. Because I think you'll find that even though that I sit here and I make fun of the people who hate us on social media, by and large, most people are super cool and it's very positive and stuff like that. And I'm sure you're going to find that as we go forward throughout the season. And speaking of the season, you're going to be here every week talking about the Bears. We expect this to be a good season. We expect it. You know what? I think I'm a little bit out in front of my skis. I've made a prediction. I said 12 wins, and I'm getting skewered on social media. The thing that hurts the most is when the people are like, I'm a Bears fan too, and even I find you find this ridiculous. Why not the Bears? Why not the Bears? Am I out? Am I out of my? I'll listen. If you tell me that I'm out of my mind, I will rescind that prediction. But I want the truth. Am I out? Am I out of my mind? What's going on?
No. Listen, you sound just like Jaquan Brisker. Literally, we had a meeting about this. I don't know if it was just a few days ago. We had a team meeting, and it was just players led. And literally, he kept saying that same statement you just made. Why not us? Why not us? Why not us? Why can't it be us? He literally kept saying that same statement over and over and over again. He was pressing that statement home. So you're right on point with everything that you're saying. I don't think you're out of your mind for sure, but I mean that's just why Jaquan was literally just saying that same point was why not us? Why can't we be a team that takes it all this year? Why can't we be in Las Vegas this year? So he just made that such a critical point. So I'm all in with you and I'm all in with him. So no, you're not out of your mind at all.
I love this. You know what? Well, thank you so much. I think that's a great way to wrap that up. Wrap up this first episode. I am looking forward to this season. I really do believe it's going to be a great one. I'm excited for Sunday's game. I want to wish you good. First of all, I want to say thank you so much on behalf of everybody. And I know that this is not a live show. If it was, the comments would be overflowing with people thanking you for being here. So on behalf of all the Chicago Bears fans, this really does mean a lot to us that you would take the time to do this and that you're going to do this every week. We look forward to it. Good luck. Please beat Green Bay. Just please beat Green Bay and bear down. And that's all I got for you.
Yes, sir. Bear down. I appreciate you.
Bear down. There he is. The great Tyler Scott. Thanks to everybody who is joining us here today. We will see you on Wednesday night for Take It to the Rank and then Ranks Rivals on Friday. So until that time, I'm Adam Rank for Tyler Scott. We'll see you soon.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Adam Rank on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.